Greetings to everyone. Hearty welcome world over. It's a green morning, green afternoon, green evening to all our brothers and sisters across the globe in different countries, in different continents, in different time zones, in different mental wellness, physical wellness, economic wellness, whatever is the condition. We hope you're taking care of yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you on Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, 24th of March, 2022. This evening, we are going to get three distinguished guest speakers, brothers and sisters. Those are going to speak on this particular platform. Education, educators, teachers, mental wellness, skills, skill gaps, communication skills, couple of things which will come through. And it is all the efforts of the MEPSC, the Sector Skill Council, and their entire team under the dynamic leadership of Colonel Anil Pokhriyalji. We are bringing this particular series with you every Thursday. So hearty welcome and a pleasure. International Chamber for Service Industry, as you meet every evening, every day at 8 p.m. non-stop, right from 25th of March 2020 when the lockdown was there. Doctors, nurses, paramedical people, great warriors doing great job. But at the same time, when we learned from UNESCO that 1.65 billion children are away from schools, colleges, institutions, our chamber decided we will focus on education vertical, skill vertical, and three buzzwords we took: making education relevant. We are thankful to Colonel Anil Pokhriyal for his efforts. Our chamber deals with the non-resident Indians world over, Indian diaspora, 31.46 million. Every year we organize, and we are the part of the Pravasi Divas, and we focus on service industry. We are grateful to Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. We worked very closely with them on to 12 champion sectors of service industry, almost about 4 years, the entire team in the Ministry of Commerce. From there, we had moved on to Ministry of Micro, Small, and the Medium Enterprise. Our efforts were that the services sector should be brought at par with the manufacturing sector. We are grateful to Honorable Finance Minister. She made an announcement on 13th of May 2020 that here onward, the new definition of MSME, a new vertical and services sector got to be at par with manufacturing sector. So education, skills, and micro, small, medium enterprise, when we take together, we are also very happy that way back in 1994, our chamber brought India's first finishing school for service industry, and more than 52,000 youth and 35,000 teachers, they have gone through the process. The journey is on. They all are abroad in different countries at different places. And 25th March, disruption for the whole world. And as I made a mention, we took on the vertical for teachers and youth together. We all need mental wellness, physical wellness, community wellness, and economic wellness. In the thick of the pandemic, the Honorable Prime Minister and now the Ministry of Education, a new vertical on 29th of July, new education policy after 34 years. And this is going to be the game changer once it gets implemented in totality. 37 sector skill councils, we are working very closely with them. We are grateful to Dr. Nirmaljit Singh Kalsi, the chairperson of the National Council for Vocational Education and Training, who had been the mentor and helping a lot. The only thing which has happened during the last 2 years, today is 24th and tomorrow is 25th of March. Tomorrow we would be completing 2 years of, if you recall, 25th March 2020. 8 o'clock is a very difficult time to talk, but Honorable Prime Minister that day gave the call to the nation, complete lockdown. So you can well imagine how the world has moved on. We have also moved on from the brick and mortar. We have come totally to the digital arena, and it's the inspirational lab, e-Gurukul, total digital. And we often talk about why don't we bring inspiration in our education and skills ecosystem. And why education is not relevant to our day-to-day life. Why are we teaching which doesn't hold any relevance anywhere at any point of time in the life? And Napoleon Hill, long time back, told, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The world has to move on. No competition, it's collaboration. This is the home page of our Chamber's web portal. If you go to ICSIINDIA.in, you'll be able to see as a 75-year celebration, learning through nature, water management, waste to resource management, climate change, carbon neutral, understanding the cultural diversity world over, immersive learning experiences, finishing school, inspirational lab, and education and skills, head to heart and heart to hands. We are soon bringing with the Media Entertainment Skill Council, a very big program, 75 experts from the world over who will talk about radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, digital, augmented reality, virtual reality, storytelling, gamification, and particularly when you think about creativity and curiosity, why entertainment industry is not integral part of education to make it light and happiness. Till date, we have completed 1,508 webinars. More than 12,000 speakers have come on various platforms on different days, various virtual events with about 100 people together on a common platform we have been doing. Let us all come together and unite for education, for skills, for startups, and most important is there is no price tag to your mental happiness. So your mental wellness is very, very important. Let's learn together. And this evening, join me in extending a very warm welcome. We extend a very warm welcome to Mrs. Sapana Manoj Jain ma'am, Mr. Varagha Swamy ji, and Shri Anup Kumar ji. And we are going to have lots of vision from all three of them. Hearty welcome. It's a pleasure to have all of you. Thank you very much for joining us. If both the gentlemen would permit me, we would start with the lady, Sapana Manoj Jain ma'am. She is running something related to communication skill, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, visual communication, happiness communication, wellness communication, musical communication, dancing communication, and whole world Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam communication. Let's hear Sapna ji, then we will have Mr. Swamy, and then we will have Anup Kumar ji. Madam Sapna is joining us from Mumbai, and Mr. Swamy is joining us from Bangalore, and Anup ji is joining us from Uttarakhand city. He will tell us later. It is to be kept as a secret because a lot of people are joining from Uttarakhand. We would let you know in a while. We will have 2 rounds. First round, you can have 5 to 6 minutes to set the context. You can introduce yourself. You can talk about yourself, your experience, everything. And second round will be the amalgamation round where we will take the expertise of all three of you. With these words, a warm welcome, hearty welcome to the Golden Triangle. And let's go to the Madam Sapana Manoj Jain ji in Mumbai.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma, for giving me this opportunity. A warm welcome to all. As Dr. Sharma said, we have completed 2 years since the lockdown was first imposed on 25th March 2020. The change is very rapid during these periods, and education has to be dynamic. I'd like to mention that ICSI organized a webinar on reimagining youth skills post-pandemic on World Youth Day. The government is promoting skill-based education. Why so much talk on skills? Because as Sir talked of gap, this gives an opportunity to youngsters to master a skill that will fill the gap between education and industry requirement. Moreover, it also gives an opportunity to adult learners for lifelong learning and upgrading themselves. When it comes to skilling environment, skilling, the role of trainers is pivotal. Let me talk about my experiences as a trainer. I have founded Enable Academy, where we have English language training, communication skills training, and we conduct various workshops. Communication touches every part of life, and there are so many ways of communicating, as Dr. Gulshan threw some light on that. So, talking first about second language learning, I would say that language cannot be learned, it can only be acquired. How do you acquire it? You acquire it by understanding. Go for meaning first, and then you acquire grammar and structure subconsciously. Understanding can be facilitated by context, extra linguistic information with videos, infographics, music, and so on. And technology has brought a lot of apps and facilities at the hands of the trainers. So once a person starts talking about his maybe strengths, hobbies, interests, challenges, goals, childhood, he gets so engrossed in his communication that he overcomes his or her hesitation of speaking in English. This is the approach that I have been using, and I've always got positive results. Now, another method which helps in enhancing fluency is know a little and use it a lot. Use it in the real world. Whatever knowledge you have of the language at this moment of time, whatever proficiency you have, start talking in English wherever you get the opportunity. And eventually, you will develop your vocabulary and grammar. Now, talking about communication skills, communication skill training in our institute is geared more towards professionals, front desk executives. Let me share a small, a light moment. Why did the grasshopper, why did the scarecrow get an award? Because it was outstanding in its field. We don't need to literally stand out in the sun to win, but we do need outstanding communication skills to stand out among our peers. When it comes to negotiation, business presentations, non-verbal cues can let us know more about the person's intentions than his spoken word. The 7-38-55 rule, developed by psychology professor Albert Mehrabian, is a concept concerning the communication of emotions. It states that 7% of communication is done through spoken word, 38% through tone of voice, and 55% through body language. So body language is important. We need to have a confident and open body language. Coming next to tone of voice. Tone of voice is important because you need to maintain one tone of voice in your writing or your entire speech. For brands, it is important to have a consistent tone of voice across all communication channels. I'd like to give the example of Amul. People in India, they relate to Amul. The Amul girl takes on all events that are trending in India through print ad and using a satirical tone of voice, which is consistent and identifiable by its customers. So that is how they have built the brand image. The third point that Albert talked of is words. Using words creatively drives your message home. You need to connect with your audience using emotions or engaging their intellect. Listen to this. I cried because I had no shoes until I came across a man who had no legs. how this touches your heart compared to simply saying, we have many blessings that we fail to count. So connection comes when you make it personal and when you touch the hearts of people. Next important thing in your message is clarity. Clarity can never be compromised for grandness. I'll give an example. The notion that a competitive workplace is commensurate with higher performance is at best dubious. I make it simpler and clear. Competition does not guarantee superior performance. And Dr. Gulshan also talked of collaboration. So now in education, we pit one child against another and we have all this exam system where there is a lot of pressure on the kids and they lack the teamwork where so many minds can work, collaborate and come up with better result that no individual could have provided. So that is the beauty of collaboration. Even the best person cannot provide what a team can come up with. Another thing that I would like to talk about oral communication is that of voice modulation. Taking pause where required, giving emphasis to the right words brings life to your speech. I'll demonstrate here also. In this day and age, facts, statistics, and other numbers are used to prove everything. However, in his book, Blink, Malcolm Gladwell argues that initial expressions or gut feelings are quite rational. This split-second thinking process moves faster than what we usually associate with thinking. If you are one of those people, and there are many of us, Blink provides proof that you are actually a rational human being. So voice modulation gives life and makes communication clear. Next thing that we can talk about is written communication. Whenever you are writing, you have to keep the purpose in mind that the writing should achieve this goal. So if I talk of business correspondence, they have to be precise, clear, and convey what action needs to be taken. When we come to blog writing or content writing, which is very popular these days, it can be more descriptive. But what is required here is be authentic and evolve your signature style of writing. Reading that, the reader, or if you are giving a speech, the audience should know that these words are coming from this person. It should be so identifiable. So that is what matters in communication, whether it's written or oral. Authenticity, sharing your experience, making a connect with your audience or your readers. Everyone else is taken. Why not talk about your experience? So let us talk about, there are some parameters on which you can evaluate your writing. Clarity, tone of voice, these two we have already discussed. Coming to elegance. Elegance is a quality that makes your writing flow well, give sentences a rhythm. If a sentence is too short or too long compared to other sentences that are nearby, rephrase it. Give a music like, musical composition has that rhythm. You can bring that to your speech and writing as well with practice. Then comes your ideas should flow like a musical piece, I said, rather than jumping from one point to another. Then comes evocativeness. Evocativeness is a quality that makes your writing more stimulating. Using a few colorful words here and there will add spice to your writing. You can use wit for emphasis, like alcohol is a good solvent. It dissolves marriages, families, and career. We know alcohol is a good solvent. Mr. Swamy will know because he is into chemicals, polymers. But this is just a different way of phrasing it, like how it affects, if a person is alcoholic, how it affects his family. So this kind of communication makes it lively. I'll end with another communication skill which we do not emphasize much in our society. You got it right. It's listening. Active listening can help you build relationships, grow your career, overcome all conflicts. Conflict resolution is also possible with that when you listen. We need to listen rather than thinking whether I agree or I don't agree, what would I say in return. So active listening helps you build relationships, overcome conflicts, and this needs practice. So to be a good communicator, you need to develop all your communication skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. I would say that this is a very important time where you can develop your communication skills and achieve success. Thank you for listening to me actively.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was very stimulating. It was very captivating, and
Thank
you
you, sir.
kept everything so intact, so wonderful. So let me just move to the industry, and I'll leave one question with you. When we come in the second round, ma'am, so I'll leave a little spark with you. Now, the new education policy 2020, which has gone, regional language has become very important. Psychologically, how do we work out the strategy? This is your second round, not this round. I'm just sharing the part with you. Psychologically, how do we work out a strategy that mother tongue or your regional language and your personal language is equally important as English language? We all are communicating in English language because we are telling it's a common language. It is more spoken, more often spoken, more places spoken, business-wise spoken, corporate-wise spoken. But when you get to the United Nations, everybody talks in their own lingo, and there are transmitters and translators and everybody, and you get it translated in your own lingo. We may work out a strategy because technology is playing very important role. After some time, Swamiji will be talking in Kannada and I'll be listening in Punjabi. So Anup ji would be talking in Uttarakhand Bhasha and you would be listening in Marathi. So that is the way we will work out and we'll plan it out. Now, Swamiji, I've got something which is for all three of us. We can cover it up the way we feel like. Corporate always blame, or let me put a little mild word. Corporate always convey these children, those are coming from schools and colleges, they don't have adequate skills. There is a gap, and we are not in a position to absorb them immediately. We have to spend so much of time. One thing I wish to understand, what stops corporate to be the part of curriculum development, content development, visiting schools and colleges, visiting universities, taking the projects, practicum in the school, colleges and universities, and making education relevant to our day-to-day life. What stops over there? And when I'll go to Anup ji, I'll take one more part. In America, you have got academia, and you have got corporate, and you've got one more sector that is called defense. Because Uttarakhand has got a long boundary wall, I would not tell what difficulties we face because I come from the uniform. But when I share, why don't we bring academia, corporate, and defense research, innovation, skills, creativity, case studies, projects, everything together in one line so that the world can be a better place? With these words, let me go to Swamiji.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you all. A formal good evening to you all and namaste. Okay. Good one, sir. Good one. This has always been haunting us in the corporate. Why we have not been invited? Why the corporate executives are neglected by the educationist? Why we have not been invited to come and say what we have? Sir, replace corporate. Okay, corporate also is to be blamed. I cannot simply take a child from a university or a college or a institution and put him in a place and tell that you're unfit. How does the army do? What does the army do? Replace corporate with an army. When you recruit boys and girls, what do you do, sir? Do you get the prepared people for the army? You prepare them. Am I right? Why is not corporate preparing them? The corporate will have to prepare. Whenever I have got, recently, I was, no, I don't say, a couple of years back, I was in Gujarat, sitting and negotiating with a customer. He brought his senior managers, general managers and vice president. I asked him for a polymer sample. He took up a phone and told the shop floor guy, I want this particular polymer, can you bring it? I want it in 5 minutes time. The gentleman here has to leave. He didn't come even after 15 or 20 minutes. Then he told me, these young boys who joined the job, I'm telling you, they are irresponsible. Mr. Swamy, you're also a trainer. Why don't you give us all our 50 plus guys sitting there, 4 or 5 of us? Okay, can you also give me some solution how to train these guys? I told her, I have a solution, sir. What is it? He said, we'll have to get ourselves trained. You cannot always think of training an youngster who has just fresh from a college or is 6 months old. And what have you done? If at all he is not responding fast, it is that there is some kind of a lacuna in communication, as Madam has rightly put it. That is a part of the training. The training will have to be like Army-like or Air Force-like or a Navy-like. The corporate will have to be there. Of course, with whenever I say Army-like, don't think I'll have to be tough on them. No, I'll have to prepare them. I'll have to prepare them to be suitable to my industry. That's what I mean to say. The corporate is failing in one side. The institutions are not being proactive on the other side. And this is where we'll have to be dive deep, take a research, and some of us will have to take a ownership on this and can make this happen because we have a wonderful attitude youth in our nation. But only thing, there is a missing link which we'll have to connect. And with this, I think, let me, and there is, Madam, you had also talked about the body language, 55% of this. Now you have confined myself, I have confined myself to the, a chair and a 2 by 1 inch frame. So I do not know, you have beautifully done it. You have placed yourself in such a manner that we can see the way you are doing it. Whereas we didn't have that skill of doing it. Next time onwards, I will take a note of that. Yeah, okay. And you can only see my face. And what else? But you are only seeing 10% of my body language. Rest is all tone. Good. Thanks for bringing that up, ma'am. Let me just try to put my screen on. Sir, do you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. I have just specifically taken my industry as a skill requirement. Okay. And this is a demographic profile I have seen. Internationally, if you see, India, the working age population as percentage of total population between 15 to 64 is on a rise as far as India is concerned. That is the reason India is a very unique country. No other country can be compared to India because we are on a rise, and you see the other countries, including that of China, which is declining. Russia is declining. Brazil is declining, US is declining, and EU is declining. And I would only ask one question to myself, what am I doing? Little extended question, what are we doing about it? For example, sir, I had done a program on train the trainers from an institute called TAFE from Australia. Government of India had also put some efforts to bring that, duplicate the training process few years ago. For some reason, I don't think it has worked, or is it working? I do not know. If you go to Australia, TAFE gives you everything, whatever the skill is required, whether it's a plumbing, whether it's an electrician, whether it's a rock climbing, whether it's an outdoor adventure, canoeing, sailing, whatever you call it, the TAFE gives. And that is the institute in Australia and across the world. Even a man who has done a small course, a certificate course on TAFE, he pulls up his quarter and say that I have done the skill program from TAFE. It is like I say that I have done my graduation from IIT or IIM. That is the status TAFE has built. It is just purely a skill university. There are so many other similar universities across the globe. But somebody told me, we have ITIs. How many of us will send our children to an ITI, Industrial Training Institute? And how many of us, suppose if I had put my son in ITI and made him a very good electronic skill guy, not an electronic engineer, but an electronic skill guy who is on hands-on. And how many of you are willing to marry your daughter to my son? That is where we have faltered. If at all you wanted to be successful in developing skills in India, which is very much required, you will have to bring in status to the person who is skilled. How many of you try? I recall a few years ago, we were all sitting for a meeting and waiting for our managing director to come for the meeting. He came around half an hour or an hour late. Well, what happened? He said, there is an electrician who had come to my house. He spoiled my mood, he said. I said, what happened? He brought just 4 meters of wire. He joined something in 15 minutes time. And he tells me, and he charged me 400 rupees, Mr. Swamy. How can I give him 400 rupees for this? I said, it was only 15 minutes. You would have argued with him for 400 rupees or 1000 rupees or whatever it is for the next 5 or 10 minutes. What took you so long? He said, I was arguing with him for an hour. And this is the kind of a respect that we would like to give it to our electricians. Then where are we going? That is where I am. This is what the graph says. When all other nation is declining, when India's working age is increasing, organically it is going. But how much of us are doing something to it? So this is what I would like to bring it to, one. And number two is, that's what it says, 65.8% of India in the working age group. No other nation has got this kind of a percentage on the working age group. In India, baby boomers like us are still, valued. Even at the age of 70, I would be sought after because we have not prepared our youth. Today, my industry cannot retire me. Why are they not able to retire me? Because there is nobody to back me. We have not skilled people. We have qualified guys. We have managers. Do we have a man who can press the button on the machine and say, this is the kind of a product that we are getting? That is the product which is going to determine the money for your nation. Not the managers. Like I have heard a thing, 7% of GDP is contributed by people who are above 12th standard. And 92% of GDP is contributed by people who are below 10th standard, working in different unorganized sectors. They are doing it. And what have we done in return for them and to them? To improve the skills, to certify them. And we are searching in the wrong place. Schools are the one. Today, NEP, you were referring, sir, Major Sahab, aapne bata rahe the new education policy. That is where it has brought. After 5th standard, people are going to choose the skill. You know where to find these boys today. But all these years, we do not know where to find them. Do you think you will get people on the road to train? Do you think you will get the people on the ground to train? You will have to go to the school. But unfortunately, all these years when we went to the school, people were not willing to, other than studying geography, social studies, and general science, they were not willing to go and do anything else. Today, they will be thinking. They will be thinking of dance. They'll be thinking of craft. They'll be, let alone, let us not talk about plumbing and electricians, because for years and years, we have been talking only about plumbing and electricians and carpentry. Let us talk about so many other things. I didn't know my son, when he wanted to be a rock climber, I didn't know it was a skill. He was doing it out of hobby. I made him an electronic engineer, but he came out. He said, I'm going to climb rock. He's my only son. I said, doesn't matter if you're not, if you cannot, if you don't want to do work in a factory industry, is an electronic engineer, you can go and climb rock. He was in Australia for 1.5 years. And there it was, I didn't know in India, I didn't know rock climbing was a profession. Till he went to Australia. Next month, he would be going to United States to teach the US school children rock climbing and outdoor education. And after his Australia trip, he taught me what is facilitation skills. That is what it is. The other countries are well equipped. India having all the resources or not have not equipped. We are talking about converting lakhs of people. We should be talking about millions, training millions. You will have to, in a day, you will have to certify lakhs. Only then India is prepared to send their children out to service the rest of the country. Thereby, you get foreign exchange. That is where the Indias will stand number one. Okay. Polymer processing industry. I'll just give you 15,500 kilometric tons virgin polymer consumption. Today, when I talk about plastic, you will be seeing me as a bad man, because I am the man who is polluting the whole country. Everywhere you see plastic, you are cursing, who the hell is throwing this? It is me who is throwing it. See, you're saying 15,500 kilometric tons of plastic is produced. That was in 1617. Imagine today, 22, 21, 22. How much will be throwing? We need skill to collect those plastics, regenerate, put it back till it disintegrates by itself. Like I give birth to your son, don't take care of him, put him on the road, and he becomes an antisocial. Whose mistake was it? Similar to that. India per capita consumption of virgin is 12 kgs only. And we are making such a hue and cry. What is United States, ma'am? Sir, Anup Kumar, sir, do you know how much per capita consumption of polymer in United States? Major sir, just a wild guess. It is 150 kgs.
Oh.
Of course, their population compared to ours, it's not even 50%. But still, you can double only 12 to 24 or 30, but not 150. China consumes around 25 to 30 kgs of plastic per capita consumption of plastic. We are the least, 12 kgs, and we have so much of hue and cry. Where did we miss? Number of processing units of polymer is around 40,000 we have. And the number of processing machines we have is 1,41,000 across India. And processing capacity, we have 41,200 kilo metric tons. That is almost 4 crores kgs. Processing capacity, 100% in the last 11% in the last 5 years. And it is going to increase in the next CAGR increases at 5.6% in the next 2 to 3 years. Number of plastic machine manufacturing unit is around 500. With this, am I equipped? Do I have skilled manpower to press the button? Deliver the right material? For example, sir, the government of India has allotted 2024 election. Before he completes, the Prime Minister wanted every nook and corner of India should have a potable water. Every nook and corner of India should have a tap where you can drink directly from. So we are the polymer guys who produce pipes, the bigger ones, the smaller ones, the miniature ones, and everything. Today, everywhere we are giving UV stabilized black polyethylene carbonate thing which goes underground, which goes on the surface, and it is all plastic. And I'll have to complete it before 2024. Where do I have skilled labor to do this now? The Prime Minister said, I have my own doubts because I have the polymer, I have everything else, I have the machines, I don't have manpower. In the factory, on the floor, my labor is working 24/7, 31 days. I don't have replacement to replace people to work on the 7th, to declare holiday on the 7th day or give him a weekly off. Generally, the force is from Orissa alone. So this is some picture that I would like to. Growth of polymer in India, which I have already discussed. It is around 2019 polymer market was valued at 533.6 billion. CAGR of 5.1% to reach 838.5 billion by close of 2030. Polymer is extensively used in packaging, automotive, electronics industries. Every one of us have plastics in us, but still hate plastic. Right from our specs, the earplugs that we are wearing, the fabric is polyester 80% and 20% cotton. My shoes and my sole are PVC. And it has been produced. It has been produced by skilled labor, but we need more because I need to collect the plastics which is strewn on the ground because I don't have people to do it. I don't have people to reprocess it. I don't have skilled labor to collect it and put it back into the machine and to deliver another product. Polymer is extensively used for packaging, and that's what I have said. Growth of skilled labor in polymer industry in India alone, I'm talking about. Is it very clear? Is it clear? Are you able to see? 2023, 2.18 million workforce is required. Sir, I'm talking about only polymer industry. There are so many other industries we have. That is the reason. Let me pick up one industry and tell the need. Then imagine why we are not growing in manufacturing compared to China. I visited China a couple of times and I found that they respect ITIs there. Somebody said we have 500 industrial training institutes across India. When you go to China, they have 5 lakh industrial training institutes. Today, for the next 50 or 60 years, you cannot beat China on manufacturing. Whatever said and done. So that is the kind of a situation that we are in. We'll have to wake up now. Some top ranking colleges offer polymer engineering. CPET, you all must have heard of. It has 28 units across India. Madam, how many states we have? And is 28
29, 29 states and then
that means
union territories.
you have
Yeah.
one institute
In every
in one
state.
state. You should be having one institute in every district in India. Since independence till today, we are proud that we have 28 units of CIPET, Central Institute of Plastic Engineering and Technology. They have certificate programs, they have diploma programs, they have graduate programs, they have postgraduate programs. And what is that churning out? Is not even few thousands. Why are we not attracting people? What are we doing about it? And there is another institute which is in Cochin University, which also gives certain education on plastic. So this is what I would like to explain to you. And I was told that I should restrict myself to 5 slides. Otherwise, I would have given you a lot more information. Good, it's a beginning. I'm always available for more information on this. And we have this plastic culture. What is plastic culture? Plastic culture is use of plastics in agriculture. Today, you have an artificial pond lining to retain water during summer, during non-monsoon times. It is a polymer. It is made specially to retain water so that they don't seep down. And we have, in a tropical nation ours, the climate is very harsh on plant. So we have a greenhouse, we have shade nets, we have insect protection nets, all these, and we have drip irrigation pipes. I will tell you, without plastics, agriculture cannot survive. The only challenge is, I need skilled labor. When you go to the European countries, across you will find a white layer till the horizon. That is the greenhouse. How many greenhouses have we seen in India? Whereas our land is around agricultural land, 80% is agricultural land. Why have we not seen that? Because we don't have enough industries, we don't have enough polymer, we don't have enough men to lay them. Need skills. Thank you, sir. With this, I would like to conclude my talk. Any questions? Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Swamy. It was a wonderful insight which you have given to us. Ladies and gentlemen, let me move to Uttarakhand now, and let me move to HR. Because post-pandemic, the role of the HR will completely change. The expectation of the industry, the expectation of the youth, expectation of the educational ecosystem is going to be altogether different. And like Mr. Swamy was talking about TAFE, the technical and the further education, what we call it in Australia, because I have been teaching for quite some time in Southern Cross University and Wollongong and Brisbane and Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide, Perth. I've been traveling extensively that part. So let me bring you to another area, beautiful mountains of Uttarakhand. And when I'm talking about Himalayan belt completely over here, and when you think about the terrain this side, because when you look at northeast part of India, the mountains, undulated lands, and you have got such a vast boundary to be protected, couple of other things have to be taken. And at the same time, you want to give better connectivity to all of us. You need bridges, you need ropeways, you need tunnels, you need airports, you need connectivity, you need flyovers, you need all that. So when I look at the BRIDCUL, that is the Bridge, Ropeway, Tunnel, and other infrastructure development corporation of Uttarakhand, there's a great role which as a general manager, Anup Kumar ji is doing. And 2022, they have got a lot of vacancies, which I saw on the net. I always come prepared. When I come for the program, I should know whom I'm talking to, what I'm talking, how we are going ahead. And Dehradun, we have got a great affiliation because way back in 1973, when I wore the uniform and touching the age of 72 today, it's a long back journey. When I look back, what a beautiful city and what a beautiful place and what a beautiful people. So Uttarakhand has got its own flavor. It has got its own charm. So we started our flight from Maharashtra. We took a business class free of cost with Mr. Swamy to Bangalore. And now I'm going to take you all the way because at Dehradun, we have got an airport. And from there, we'll enter the city as well. Let's talk to Anup Kumarji and let's hear what are his views as a General Manager, HR, BRIDCUL.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm audible?
Absolutely, perfectly fine.
Right, thank you, sir. So good evening to all of you. And I have not prepared any slide for today's talk. I will talk only. I will not show anything. Reason being, as it is introduced very nicely by Dr. Major Saab, and as I'm living in a Uttarakhand state, it is really a Devbhumi, no doubt. We called it very popularly. It is a Devbhumi, and I invite all of you for getting rejuvenate of your life from your busy schedule from Bangalore and Mumbai rather. So come down anytime. Most welcome to the Uttarakhand. See my place of heel, Ganga, and forest. So you will like this hill estate very much. Besides that, you will go, if you are having the spirituality things, 100% you will get your mind healthy. This is the place I am living here. Oxygen is free, and I am saying oxygen, it is free oxygen. Nothing like your Delhi situation or Mumbai situation. And I think Bangalore is also facing some problem due to the industrialization. So today I am talking about the mental wellness or mental health. Reason being, I am living here in Uttarakhand, and as we are aware, and I'm quoting one point of Mr. Swamiji, that he is the real man behind the manufacturing of plastic. So plastic is, of course, it is very useful for the society, for the world, but again, equally, it is very devastating. So this is one product which is devastating the society, and the mind is the one element which makes you how to become the happy. And minds is always controlled by internal locus of control, and that too to control the external things. So being happiness, I again welcome you all to the Uttarakhand. It is a yoga nagari also, yoga city. We have Rishikesh very near to Dehradun. You will find very good. In Hindi, it is called ki Ganga mein dubki laga lena. So Haridwar is also very near to us. So this three place is in triangular, and if you want to see, Mussoorie is the hill of Queen of Hills. So you can visit to Mussoorie. It is 30 kilometers away from my residence. So I welcome all of you, all three people over here, to come. And mind is the only thing that we are controlled to be think, feel, act on whatever the situation is. Even there is a situation of war of Russia and Ukraine. The mind game is very, very much involved into it, and the war is going into the 20th day. It is devastating, and we have to think about it, how these people are surviving and for what purpose. I'm very much not very clear. Major Saab is here. Why they are fighting together and why not they are resolving the things? What NATO is doing? What is its role? What America is asking for? I was hearing in social media news that a nuclear bomb is now about to come. Why so? I don't know. And for whom? Who is going to be getting the profit for it? One country will finish, another country will rise. But what about the mankind? So these things we have to see, we have to think about. And for wellness of the mind, it is required to follow 2-3 things, which I would like to quote over here, and I would like to listen from you also, because Madam is there and she is a true trainer. I'm working with the bridge, ropeway, tunnel industry, and we are into the hardcore construction field for the society. So first thing I'd like to say that for healthy mind, it is required to be value yourself. And it is nothing that value means that treat yourself with kindness and respect. It is very much required. If we will we will treat ourselves with kindness and respect, 100% it will reflect in an equal manner for the others. People will also give you respect and value. Second thing is, after this pandemic, especially when Corona is there, we have to take care of our body. Regular checkup after certain period of ages, even for the children now, because children doses is also there. So for the healthy mind, it is required to be a healthy body, what the phrase is saying. And very importantly, surround yourself with the good people. But the very tough is how to check the good people around us. It is the toughest job for us. So people with a strong family or social connections are generally healthier than those who lack a support of network or lack of support of the family. Make plans with supportive family members and friends, or seek out activities where you can meet new people. And that is why I invited you in my beginning to come down to the Dehradun. One thing it is very important to be a healthy mind is give yourself, and it is required to be volunteer. Voluntary, you have to give the time, you have to give the energy, and same way you can help someone else. So you will feel good about doing something tangible to help someone in need, and it's a great way to meet new people. So some way people used to go for fun also. And most importantly is learn how to deal with the stress. We all are working in a society, working in a group, working in an organization, and parallelly stress comes side by side with the day-to-day of the work. So we need to learn how to deal with the stress. Try 1 minute stress strategies, then exercise, take a nature walk, play with your pet. There are many things that one have to do. Research shows that laughter can boost your immune system. Surprisingly, and most of the people doesn't laugh. And what Sapana ma'am was saying about the body language, the laughing, even some people doesn't smile. If you will say something joke, people will never smile in a group sometimes. So it is required to smile also to increase your immune, and if immune is increased, body will heal, and same way the mind will heal. As we are working in an organization, and every organization is setting their goal, organizational goal, group goal, then individual goal. So setting of the individual goal is, again, it should be very realistic. It should be achievable. Otherwise, mind wellness or mental health will affect. So set realistic goals for achievement, either in the terms of your profession or either in the terms of the family activities or for the society, whatever, even sometimes in the financial matter. So it is required. It is required to break the monotony. Today we are sitting, all four people are listening together, learning, and we are breaking the monotony to learn with others. We are learning with the new friends over here. And we are seeing the rejuvenation, how polymer industry is doing, how what madam was saying about the body language and writing language. Even there is a word kinesics, how kinesics can work into the organization, something like that. So this way we can do. Mental health is made up of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. So it is required to be mentally fit, mentally healthy. Then one question arises: why is mental wellness important? So it is very important question. Mental health includes our emotions, as I told, psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. Not only this, it relates to others and make choices. Mental health is very much important at every stage of life, from childhood to adolescent and through the adulthood, even into the old age. So it is the requirement of the healthy mental ability, and this is on the basis of the ability to feel, express, and manage a range of positive and negative emotions, the ability to form and maintain good relationships with others. So this way, a normal mental health one can achieve. And moving ahead further, not saying much about it, I can say there is basically three types of mental wellness. One concerned to your physical things, second is your spiritual things, and third one is your mind itself. So this is where we can be a happy person, we can achieve our goal. And what Dr. Major Saab was saying, that he has moved around the world, how people are very happy, how people are doing. Last year in 2019 in Dehradun, we did our one international conference on happiness, and it is surprisingly that Finland is having the #1 index in happiness around the world, and in top 10 Nepal is also there. Surprisingly, it is Pakistan is also there. I don't know how indexing has been done. So, and we have invited the ambassador of the Finland at Dehradun, and he did a very good example that he is having only 5-day working throughout the year. And now I have heard the young Prime Minister, Lady Prime Minister is there, that there is a 4-day working, but the target and goal is the same. So 3 days in a week, they are enjoying their life to heal up their mind, and again they are coming on the Monday or the working day to finish their remaining job. So same way we can change the whole things, we can achieve our goal. So this is on the basis of the time spent, it is required to do the things, new activities. This is the whole about what I am saying about the wellness and the mental health, mental wellness. So thank you very much. Any question we can discuss over here?
Thank you very much, Anup Kumarji. Lot of powerful words. Devabhumi, Ganga, forest, spirituality, free oxygen, yoga nagari, all that I have taken very carefully. Now coming on to, I don't know, because your profession, everybody's profession demands something different. Whenever I want to take a break, I always look at our Honorable Prime Minister. From the time and from the day he has assumed the charge, he has not taken even 1 day leave. What to talk of 1 day? If you see his back to back, his program, every minute is being taken in a way. I think most important is what Anup ji wanted to hint. And when he was talking about mental wellness, mental fitness, mental robustness, mental happiness, we talk about GDP, we should talk about gross happiness, like Bhutan and everything which you take in that index. Over here, we all are different. We all have got different perceptions. We all work in different environments, and everybody's mental happiness is altogether different. There are certain people, they study very well when the music is on. There are others, when the TV is on, they study very well. Others, they cannot study alone. They have to sit in the group and they enjoy. But somebody else is there who needs silence all around, pin drop silence, and then they can study. So I personally feel, let's respect everybody, whosoever, wherever, whatever profession they are in, while thinking that we have overshot by 8 minutes already, because it's 8 minutes past 9 p.m. 9 p.m. we close this program, but I made a commitment, so we'll give a minute to everybody. In your concluding round, my worry is not youth. My worry is not students. My worry is not children. Let me tell you, right coming up to this age and this stage, and almost having traveled 75% of the world physically, because I'm the first Indian Army officer who moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And having traveled world over and having met more and more people, it has made me more humble. I've become more insignificant, and I feel I do not exist. And I feel I do not know anything. I have to learn from everybody every moment. Now, before we conclude today's session, I personally feel our children are very smart. They are extra smart. I don't want to use the word over smart, but they are smart. Technologically, they are very smart. Now, where is the concern? Where is the challenge? Teachers got to keep pace with the time. Teachers got to adapt to the technology. There is nothing permanent, and anybody who feels everything is permanent, कि आज job मिल गया, यहीं से retire होंगे, that time has gone. The latest studies are you might change your profession 6 times in one lifespan. And the World Economic Forum, if you see, World Economic Forum is conveying that the skills what you are learning today, the subjects what you are studying today may not hold relevance by the time you will pass out from the institution. So keeping that in mind, what do we consider? How do we help and do the hand-holding of our so-called educators and teachers? And we will conclude with that round. Sapna ji.
Yes, so first coming to what you asked now, as I said, change is rapid. Education has to be dynamic, and so educators also have to be dynamic, and it has to be a process of continuous learning for us as well. What I think we can do for youngsters is give them critical thinking. Nothing in this world is linear. Like you talked of collaboration, things are interlinked. So if they have critical thinking, they will develop and learn whatever is required at that given time. They'll get that skill because information is there. They just need the right kind of mindset to get that information. And it's the time of IT. So
would you like to link critical thinking with some example?
Yes, we have certain, whatever we have learned, we have a certain mindset. We have prejudices. If we have critical thinking, we can analyze that. And what else can I say?
Will you link critical thinking with creativity?
Of course, it's required.
Okay. Critical thinking, creativity.
Innovative ways come when you have critical thinking. You don't have that box, Thinking out of the box is possible. Linking different things is possible if you have critical thinking.
Even if we throw that definition out, people say, think out of the box. I say there is no box at all.
We have, sir. We do have. You are a well-traveled man, and I also, check that I do not stay with those prejudices. So we have to actively do that.
So
and
consciously.
coming to the earlier question you said about, the psychology of language. Yes, when I communicate with trainees who want to upgrade their English proficiency, and I do that every day in my profession, I realize that they really have good knowledge in their respective fields. Still, they lag behind simply because they are not able to speak in English, which is not their first language. So if technology can make real-time translation, it will really help everyone who is speaking regional language. So it will be good for India. And it will also be good for that language also, because that language will also evolve. They will incorporate all new words that we have in technology. So good for people, good for language, and good for our culture. People will feel pride in their culture because our language is part of our culture. What words are used in a language, they reflect the culture of the people who speak that language. So yes, psychologically and emotionally, it will really be beneficial to everyone if they can connect with a speaker in their own language.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a professor in IIT Bombay. His name is Professor Kannan Moudgalya. Professor Kannan Moudgalya. And we invited him on 2nd of March at 8 p.m. webinar. You can see that particular webinar. It is 1472 number webinar of ICSI. You can pick up the threads simultaneously, how you can take on the different languages within India itself. He has got a remarkable software which he has developed, and we invited him. And that was something, Global Empowerment Through Spoken Tutorial. That is the title of the webinar. You can see it on the ICSI YouTube channel. It's a mind-blowing, which he has given to us. And we are going to adapt that model for the Northeast India, because there are 8 states, 45 million people. Our chamber is working in Northeast India with him on that particular project. Thank you, madam. Let's come to Swamiji.
Right.
Sir, unmute.
Yeah, I was on mute. This always happens. Madam, I had traveled to Egypt almost 17 times. And my friends, trainers here would tell you, can we do some soft skill training there? Why don't you explore some training opportunities at Egypt? I said, see, you cannot do soft skill training in Egypt. Why? Because what happens is that the taxi driver cannot speak English. So when he communicates with me, what is the time that I will have to come up, I will not know. So approximately at 8:30, I would come and stand on the road with my briefcase or a bag, so that a taxi guy can see, yeah, Indian is standing because of my color, and he will pick me up. Okay, but he need not speak to me. If I'm sitting in the flat, then he will find it difficult to communicate with me. Okay, at that given point, people walking, not even a single gentleman or a lady there would not stop at me and ask me, is there anything that I can do for you? Seeing me as a foreigner standing there. How many of us do that in India? They would say, yeah, you're standing, waiting for somebody. Can I be of some help? Everybody who passes by would stop over and ask me, smile and ask me. Okay. So I said, where is the question of you doing a soft skill training there? When everybody is aligned. Okay. Number 2 is that when I negotiate with a team of Egyptians, I used to talk to the customers And I used to give the answers spontaneously in English. Then my Egyptian friend asked me, do you also think in English, you Indians? Then it opened my eyes. I said, my mother tongue is Tamil, brought up in Karnataka. I have learned Kannada. Because I travel, I also know Hindi. I do not know which language I think. But Britishers have taught me to think in English. Okay, that is one. I do not know whether I see it as an advantage, sacrificing my mother tongue and my language in India, or do that. Number two, sir, coming to you. What is intelligence? What are we looking at our children? What are we? Let me go to what our Anup Sahab was talking about. What is that we are actually looking at our children? Do you want them to do very well in academics? Or is there anything else that we are looking at doing very well? For every question, the teacher can ask a children or a student. He can Google and come faster than the teacher. Then where is the question of we teaching them? You can't teach them mathematics. You can't teach them science. You can't teach them physics. Then what are you teaching them today? I would say very simple words, humanness and dignity.
Okay.
Is what you will have to teach your children today. And that has to be given importance too. The way we respected people and the way today our children are respecting, are you seeing the difference? No blames. No pointing out any negativity. Everything we see is positive. But what do we, like he has said, what is actually happening between Russia and Ukraine? Where is humanness? Where is dignity? Both are very advanced countries. They know everything. What do they lack? Then why is it not happening? Like Anupji had rightly put it. Unless across the globe, if we teach our children the humanness and dignity, there is definitely a better advancement than they academically coming and firing rockets or firing satellites on the globe. That is not required. That would happen automatically. But the respect for humanness and dignity is the most important thing that I would say that we should be adding in our curriculum.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. When we talk about respect for the community, and when Madam was talking about communication, the highest paid person in the world today, whose classes I attend when I teach in America, is a Nido Cuban. N-I-D-O, Nido Cuban. Q-U-B-E-I-N. He is the highest paid communicator in the world today. He charges 30 lakh per day workshop. And to attend that particular workshop and to be a participant, you got to really stand in the queue. And I have been the student 3 times. And he came with $5 from Libya all the way. And he had been the chancellor of various universities and all. He says it's no more communication. It is connecting. Communication to connecting. Connecting heart to heart. Connecting soul to soul. Connecting mind to mind. Connecting vision to vision. And another dear friend whom I met way back in early 70s, Alan Toffler. He wrote a book called Future Shocks. We must read that book. And there's a chapter which is on education. Sometimes I get bogged down. How is it possible somebody could think 50 years back what's going to happen in 2020? I think our mind, it works. God has made all of us some specialist in some area to deliver something the best possible way, which we are passionate about. And when you have a passion, you don't get tired. That's what I think the Prime Minister, once you have given the task, you got to be passionate if your profession becomes your passion, and if your passion becomes your profession, you won't get tired and you will enjoy.
True.
Let me come to the HR finally before closing. You're going to have lots of challenges post-pandemic, particularly HR is going to have lots of new things. It's not going to be that way. If I share long time back, if I look back in 70s, I'm sorry to say that, but I must share with the world. When I did my, entire studies and PhD and everything, I found HR people used to sit next to the laundry, next to the generator, and next to the plant of washing clothes in the hospitality 5-star hotels way back in 70s in the underground, not one floor, but 3 floors down. And the time changed, that HR became very important. And everybody, including the general manager of the hotel, telling HR person, please ensure nobody leaves. Please ensure they don't go and join the GE Capital because Mr. Basin is going to take away everything. All HR people from the hospitality moved on to the GE Capital at that point of time because they were getting triple the salary and they were working. And every GM early in the morning, the nightmare and the morning wake-up call was, how many people have left today? How many people have gone? HR is going to have lots of challenges post-pandemic because we all have got used to, if you ask me, if you ask my heart, at this age, technology has brought so much of change. It is not I have become lethargic. I'm very happy. I'm not consuming oil. I'm not traveling. I'm not adding pollution through my vehicle outside. I'm not on the road. I'm not having congestion of the traffic. And through this, nobody knew the Zoom before the buzzword. That much people knew Google and Microsoft. But now the Zoom everywhere. And when you talk about it, today the technology is going to play a very important role, and artificial intelligence is also coming in a very big way. So Anup ji, before we close the round and we close the session, what is your take on to as an HR head, particularly when I look forward to the government corporation?
Very rightly said, sir.
I'm adding here my 2 points.
Uh,
One is when I have visited to Kyoto, Japan, on one conference at Kendai University. I was living in a hotel. I'm taking your example of hotel. And I asked something to my manager of the hotel at the reception, and he firmly said me no. But his no was hearing like he's saying yes. Like he was saying no. And I was very much annoyed about the things what I was.
Your voice has gone. Your voice has gone. Your voice has gone. We have lost your voice.
Unmute yourself.
Is audible now?
Yes, now
Yeah.
it's audible.
Sorry for
Please
it.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
So he said very firmly to me with a smile face, no. And I feel very happy that he is saying me no, but he is saying that you'll not get it. So saying no, I'm coming onto the education side also, post-pandemic, saying no in such a manner that he's saying yes is very, very acceptable in the world, in the society. And coming on to the education of the children, in Japan, up to the standard 3 or 4, I'm not very clear, they study only the moral of the things, how to live, how to grow, something like that. They are not studying 2 + 2 = 4. So same way India must change its things, that how to become a moral, strong citizens here in India, apart from the language. Language is something different. So, and for moral studying, there is no need of language, and language cannot be a wall for understanding the things. And as Dr. Major Saab is saying about the post-pandemic in issues concerned to the HR, of course, it was very tough time we have seen around the world. Road was vacant, hotel was vacant, industry was vacant with the laborers. We construction people were at halt, and still the government was behind us to construct the hospital, construct the oxygen plant, construct this, that, and we did it. We did it with the help of a human touch. We were with the labor, we were with the mason, we were with our engineers. And of course, we have lose one engineer, one junior engineer due to the COVID in first wave. But again, we were very smart, very tough, as well as we were very kind towards the human being. So this government, as I'm working with the government corporation, first time every government department show what I will say, that the result they have achieved on the basis of the human touch. This is my summation for the today's session.
Wonderful, wonderful. Human touch. That is something very important for all of us. Excuse me. Human touch is very important, and I think human angle is very important. As a good human being, why not the whole world should live peacefully? And sometimes I wonder, coming from the uniform background, I always think, why do we have more arms, armaments, and ammunitions and destructive material factories which are being run, and we want to consume that? If we spend equal amount on humanity, on global peace, and on education, and on happiness, on health, on wellness, I think the world would be a better place. You can join us. I wish to share with all of you. Every evening, 8 p.m., we have got the webinar. Tomorrow is the Friday Women Empowerment. Saturday, we take you to Northeast India. Sunday, we take you to non-resident Indians. Monday, you have got a human library coming all the way. The Denmark model, you meet one lieutenant general, one major general, or one chief justice, or somebody you meet every Monday at 8 p.m. So YouTube channel is yours. Be a part of it. Let's work together. Let's move together. Let's make world a better place where our children, today's generation, tomorrow's generation, they should live peacefully and they should be happy. With these words, while having the fragrance and the sprinkling effects of the happiness all around, my deep gratitudes and thanks to Sapana ma'am, Swamy ji, and Anup Kumar ji. It was a pleasure to have